Hi, Taurus. Some sage to cleanse the space. Three chimes to bring in positive energy. This is a general reading for the sign of Taurus. If you have Taurus anywhere in your birth chart, this is your reading. It is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. You know what is for you and what is not for you. Thank you, Spirit. Messages for the sign of Taurus. Taurus, I do want to thank you very much for tuning in and supporting my channel. My name is Greta. I am an intuitive reader, and I do look at the sun and moon placements and planetary placements to get a good idea of the energy that is surrounding you at this time. But my go-to is trusting my intuition. Thank you, Spirit. Messages for the sign of Taurus. Taurus, if this is your first time tuning in, a little bit about the layout of this reading. When I look at this top row, that first row, I'll be looking at your work life, your professional life, your public life, and the energy that is surrounding you there. This second row is private life, personal life, and the energy that is surrounding you there. The third row, this last row, is final thoughts, final messages, final takeaway. What is it that Spirit would like you to take away from this reading? Thank you, Spirit. Messages for the sign of Taurus. Taurus, I do want to invite you to check out or stop into one of my live readings. You will be able to ask questions and make comments if there's any clarity that you're seeking. Thank you, Spirit. Messages for the sign of Taurus. And Taurus, before we get to the foundation of your reading this week, let's use our intuition cards, our ESP, our intuitive cards. If this is your first time tuning in, what we do is we have these cards with various shapes, and we give the cards a quick shuffle. And I will select one of these cards and send that image to you. Thank you, Spirit. And if at any time during this reading you believe you know what that card is, do write that in the comment sections. And then at the end of the reading, I will reveal that card to see if we were able to connect intuitively. Thank you, Spirit. Messages for the sign of Taurus. Taurus, the foundation, the basis of your reading this week is the Four of Pentacles, being guarded, being protective. And that is backed by the Empress card. I love the Empress card. The Empress card is about manifestation, having it all, being guarded and being protective of what it is that we would like to manifest or what it is that we are wanting to create. And let's see how that plays in to the rest of your reading this week, Taurus. We start off with the Seven of Swords, the planning, the preparing, planning and preparing with words or with thoughts. The seven in numerology represents perfection, imagination, awareness, and healing. And the swords in tarot represents intellect, heart, mind, and the results that are in the scene. So results that we can touch, results that are tangible. And so it's about preparation, preparing, and using our imagination to create. And that is followed by the 10 of Pentacles, which is legacy wealth. And 10 represents endings and beginnings and represents taking action. And the Pentacles in tarot represents the physical, the external being, foundation, creating a new foundation, making plans, using our imagination, using our creativity to put in place a foundation. The Sun card, the happiest card in the tarot. And guarding our happiness, guarding our happiness, being protective of our happiness. Putting up a wall, but not putting up a wall too high. And the Six of Wands, the Victory card. The first why are we very protective, very guarded, putting up walls? It's important that when we are putting up walls, when we are being protective of what it is that we would like to create, that we remember there's always a weak spot, regardless of how well we prepare, how many protective measures we put into place, that we need to leave room for the good to come in. And that when we put up walls, that we do not put up walls that are too high. We can put up a wall. And why I'm speaking of a wall, if we look closer at the Sun card, there's a wall there. And it's a protective wall. And we can see that the wall's high enough to protect the steed, to protect the child, to protect the happiness. But it's not so high that it's blocking out the sun or even blocking out the flowers. And so it's about not building walls too high. Taurus, the first half of this month started out so very positively for you. And now that you are ready to commit to an idea or commit to a project or a situation, you're feeling a little bit restless. And because you're feeling restless, you're wanting to put your guard up. You're wanting to put barriers up. And for some Taurus, it will be that we're being overly protective and overly guarded to where we're not letting the sun, not letting the positive come in. For some of us, it will be that we're just wanting to take action. Sometimes when we're feeling restless, we consider risky projects. And when we're feeling restless, we can misjudge the situation. the challenge for you will be in adjusting your energy, grounding yourself, grounding your energy before making any big decisions. There's big decisions, big choices here for you. And your guard is either up too high or not up high enough. And before reaching or before committing to any big decisions, to ground ourselves and to ground our energy before saying yes or before saying no. And in your home life, in your private life, I love that we have the 10 of Cups, which is emotional, spiritual fulfillment. In a relationship, we have the 2 of Cups, a working relationship, a coming together. The Moon card, something hidden, revealed. By someone younger, someone inexperienced, looking back over our shoulder, maybe having a conversation before it's time, having a conversation before it's ready or we're ready. It's like we knew that this day was coming. We knew that this conversation was going to happen, but it still feels like it's not time. It still feels like we're not ready. And, I'm not surprised with that, Taurus. This week, Venus is in Cancer and Mars is in Taurus. And that is a wonderful combination for your love life. If you have a love interest or you're wanting to add sexy back into your love life, this is the week to do this. This is the week to make connections and to set apart time for special people in your life. The universe is bringing you in a happy surprise, an emotionally fulfilling surprise. Our guard is up. We need to we need to evaluate how protective we are being. And does the fence or match? There's something hidden that will be revealed. Our guard is up, but our protectiveness, is that matching the situation? And so if we're being overly protective or if we're being unduly protected, does your energy match the energy that is being called for? Only you can decide that. Only you can determine that, Taurus. But the universe is wanting to bring you in a gift. I think 2 gifts. One is in your love, and one is in the physical that is hidden from you. But you're still really guarding what it is that you would like to manifest. And is the amount of guardedness or the amount of resistance called for? Only you can determine that. Then we have the Queen of Wands. Excuse me. The Queen of Swords, finding clarity, cutting ties with the past. The Queen of Wands, trusting our intuition, following our passions, following our desires. The Hangman, enlightenment, deep knowing, deep understanding. Trust your intuition, trust your gut. The Nine of Swords. And again, 9 in numerology is about vision, about invention. It's about the power within, and maybe to some extent about anticipation. And wands in the tarot represents fire, represents being powerful, having that divine spark, what it is in our soul that moves us, that spiritual power. It's the essence of life, the life force itself. What drives us? What are we passionate about? Putting in work. You know, Taurus, social media zaps our energy, and it limits the amount of energy that we have to create, that we have to manifest. Limit the amount of time spent checking social media or even using our phone will reduce the amount of excessive worries that we may be experiencing at this time. Self-worth comes from within, and mantras can help us redirect our energy towards what it is that will serve us. And before I let you go, let me send you that image. Were you able to pick the cross or the X? If so, I'm so glad that we were able to connect intuitively. If not, do take note of your initial thought, the initial word, the initial image that you placed for this card. And over time, you may find that Spirit is communicating with you through different words and through different imagery than what is seen. For example, maybe this week when we were practicing our intuition, you thought of a cross, or you thought of a kiss was what was initially that came to you. You may find that by practicing using your intuition, that is the word, that is the imagery that Spirit is communicating with you. And by keeping track and keeping note of that, you will begin to see patterns. Connecting with our intuition many times is like trying to learn a new language. And that is the message that I have for the sign of Taurus. Thank you, Taurus. You have a blessed week.